one I'm going to start with, I like to turn them loose and just see how curious they are to want to stick with me. So when I turn her loose here, I'm going to try to encourage her to kind of follow along with me like so. That's a very good sign. And then right about here, see where she's kind of lost interest in me. I'll just kind of say, hey, it's probably in your best interest to stay interested in me. My advantage, I'm pushing. Now I'm drawing to her. Now they did warn me, this horse has a tendency to want to rear up and paw at you, and she'll kind of run over you. So I do want to kind of caution myself with this horse. If I can get her to draw that eye to me a little bit. Get after her for kind of kicking at me there. She's kind of spoiled. And on this side, I'll kind of watch for a spot. Might be over there by the office. Her eyes come into me right here twice and right there. Let's kind of stick out here to see if that eye went. There we go. And then get after her for leaving. To come right here. There you go. And if she wants to leave, get after her to leave. Now we got her kind of moving around. I want her to know the position of this whip means something. I'll just kind of drop this down towards the hind end and say, maybe you should maybe send that hip away from me. If you shoot through this little gap I've created for you, I'll give you a little spank-a-doodle. But if you leave me, I'll just go ahead and push you off a little bit. I'm going to create a little gap over here. Let her decide that she decided not to go through the gap that time. I'll ask for this hip to move away, move away, move away. So I'll just ask for these shoulders to move off here, there. And even if this is accidental, if I come down like this and she sends that hip away, I want to reward those accidents. Yeah. That's for that hip. After shooting that gap. After that hit. There you go. Let's set these shoulders off. So when I go to ask her to move her hip, I want to make sure I'm not here at the point of the triangle or beyond. And when my eyes lower down towards her hip, that's her cue to move. I'll pick this rope up and give her a little swing there. So when my eyes go down towards that hip, if she leaves, see, I'll give her a stroke both sides. I'll only work one side till it works. Then I'll ask for the second side. But when my eyes go down towards that hip, it is in her best interest to swing that hip away from me. Back and forth on her here. There you go. When my eyes go towards that hip, right there, see, there was a little bit of a swing of the hip, and I appreciate that. Every time I go over there, I'm going to ask her to move. But I want her watching for that little pre-cue. And right here, when my eyes go towards that hip, and there it was. I'll just let her kind of think on that for a second. Still. I'll just wait for her right here. There you go. Those feet settle. There you go. Get out. Get in, get out. Make sure she's settled. Step back to the point of the triangle. Ask with my eyes real nice before she gave me a nice quiet response. We'll just kind of pet her on this side. Make sure I get in the correct position. And then when my eyes go down towards that hip, that's very nice. When my eyes, there you go. There you go. So when my hand comes up like this, and she sees me wiggle my fingers at her, I expect her to back up. Everything I teach my horse, I want her to do with the tiniest cue I can give her. So when I wiggle my fingers, tap on this rope, And if I wiggle this rope and she doesn't back up, there's always going to be a phase 4, which has a bite strike or a kick to it, and I'm going to whack her under the chin here. So I teach her to back up when I wiggle my finger, tap on my rope. When I wiggle my rope, failure to back up, you get a little whack under the chin there. Now, I'm going to let her kind of think about what happened to her there. So when she sees my hand come up, that's not the cue to back up. But when that wiggle the fingers, tap on the rope, and I wiggle my rope. Failure to back up, get you a pop under the chin every single time. So I want her to become a believer. She fails to back up. She gets a little pop under the chin. And now, because we taught her how to move her hip, if she starts to turn her hip to me, I can direct it back with my eyes, can't I? If she gets that hip kind of crooked, I can redirect that hip now. That, to me, is why it's so important to get a little management on that hip first. So when I wiggle my fingers, tap on my rope, and I wiggle my rope. If you fail to back up, right there, she gave me the right response. Even if it was accidental, I did reward it. She's not going to. I wiggle my fingers, tap on my rope, wiggle my rope. Right there, when she thought about back, and I softened. I'll wiggle my finger right there. I saw muscles engaged, so I quit, even if it was accidental. Let that sink in for a second. I'll wiggle my fingers and reward that thought. Now I'm just going to kind of quit on her on that right now today and let that kind of sink in for the night and come back and just kind of restart her tomorrow. She does need a lot of discipline, and she's going to get some here.